whether it's your own flesh or somebody else, if it's somebody else, if that person consents and they want to be eaten, well, even if that means they know that entails them being dead. In the case of Armin Meiwes in Germany, like many years ago.
And didn't he sign a document saying that it was okay or some shit?
I don't remember if there was a document, but he would get on a chat board called the Cannibal Cafe. And there was a guy messaging him, like he'd been in there for weeks. This guy messaged Armin Meiwes, and something along the lines of like he wanted to be eaten, and Armin was like, "Well, come here, I'll eat you."
Right?
Maybe not that.
I'm down.
Yeah, maybe not that politely, but point being, they both agreed to it.
They were consenting adults agreeing to what was happening.
Yeah, and Armin Meiwes' victim knew that he was going to die. He knew he was going to die being eaten by Armin. He went there knowing that.
Right.
He was fine with it. He was cool with it. Like, I don't feel like it's a crime against him, the fact that Armin killed him and ate him for months. I think it's more probably a crime against the victim's family, because, like, they didn't know what the fuck dude was into, most likely. Like, I didn't know my husband wanted to go get eaten.
But then it begs the question of, is it really any of their concern?
It's not at the end of the day, but you know how people would be. Like, it'd be like...
Right, I know.
It's like
the
a very...
social public outcry would be
more
in favor of the family, and like, well, that doesn't really give them, I guess, any kind of rest or ability to grieve properly.
Yeah. They feel like somebody must be punished.
Yeah,
somebody must be punished
for taking my son's, my brother's, my nephew's life.
Yeah, it's like a very fucked up suicide. Because he agreed to die. He willingly chose to die to satisfy his ultimate fantasy of being devoured by another man. Armin Meiwes had the motherfucker in a bathtub. He kept feeding him sleeping pills and wine and shit. And so then he starts just, sawing dude's penis off in an ice bath. And he runs off to go cook it so they can eat it together as he's bleeding out in the fucking ice tub. So he tries to fry it, and they both try to eat it, but neither one of them could. Either the guy was too weak from the fucking blood loss to consume it, and Armin said it was too chewy and you couldn't chew through it, so spat it out and threw it out. And I guess he gave up, and he went to bed that night, and he was expecting the guy to be dead in the morning.
But he was still alive?
He was still alive in the ice bath. Yeah, he still had a pulse, so he either stabbed him in the heart or he stabbed him in the neck. I can't remember which. To basically end him in the thing. There's footage of the entire thing. He recorded the entire, from pretty much like the time dude got there to them eating dinner, and then, then they have sex, whatever, and then cuts his cock off and they try to eat it. But Armin ate him for like 2 or 3 months after that. But you could, I know we're all over, it's kind of all over the place. But it's a moral dilemma.
It is.
With him, in that case, cannibalism's a moral dilemma, period. That's like, most people taboo, like a taboo attitude towards it. And it's just, you can't. Most people just rationalize it as you can't do
It's a crime against humanity.
There you go. It's a crime against humanity.
To eat your own species is just the ultimate sin.
It's unthinkable. It's unfathomable.
And when you look into the scientific research behind what happens when you devour human flesh, or I would imagine it happens to every species who eats their own kind. Well, maybe not every species, because some have evolved to do so.
It fucks with your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, like when you eat human flesh, it like seriously fucks with your nervous system and all kinds of shit. Like, there's muscle issues. It messes up your brain, like. Your entire chemistry in your brain changes, and there's neurosymptoms, and it's got a specific name for it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. And
I'm sure there's a cavalcade of things that come with it.
I mean, if it tastes like pork, think about this. The best bacon sandwich you've ever had in your life.
Damn. For breakfast?
It doesn't matter. For whenever.
Okay, I'm thinking about it.
All right.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
But I don't know if I want that. Now, Armin could have that. I do want to top off on that. I don't know where you're going, but I do want to top off on
because I'm more interested in, like, where you were going with this whole Armin thing. Because he is an interesting subject.
Well, he couldn't be prosecuted for it. I mean, he couldn't, like, not for, cannibalism wasn't illegal in Germany when this happened. Okay. It was. I don't think it was
right because they probably never had a situation where they had to come up with this law to say they probably figured, well, nobody's going to eat anyone here.
Yeah, and if I understood correctly, he went to and pretty much he was not found insane, but he was to like be institutionalized, so to speak.
Right, for doing it.
Yeah, and is he fucked up because he ate someone who volunteered to do so? Or was it more fucked up to just wait till someone who has died, not at your hands, but just someone you've dug up, or just somebody who's recently deceased?
Like if you work at a morgue.
Yeah.
And you know that they don't have any diseases, et cetera,
mm-hmm.
and that they would be perfectly fine to eat, should society not, have that taboo about it?
Right.
But then it begs a question of if there was a way...
But people don't want their family members also. They're just their loved ones who've just deceased to be eaten. Like, that's... You know what I mean? Because so many people have that physical attachment to the body
right.
and all that.
Right. There's a lot of different aspects of this that really begs a question.
It's deep.
It is. It's a very deep topic. There's a lot to this cake. There's a lot to this cake.
It's a thick layer of flesh and bone and sinew and marrow.
And it tastes like pork, but it's a little bit more bitter and stronger. It tastes quite good, though.
Okay. I remember what somebody else had said. It was pork, but they said, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. He was a killer in New York. He would kill prostitutes.
I feel like Netflix has a series on him.
There's been quite a few specials.
Is he the Strangler guy?
See, I feel like
something
Strangler, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, but anyway, he said that it tasted like gamey beef or gamey pork. Tasted
like very like gamey, a wild boar.
Yeah, pretty much is about what it tasted like. I'm like, damn, man,
that's not bad.
No, it's not, but Jesus, I can't even mentally put myself in the position to even consider it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't register with me. I identify with the side of it. I see more of why it's the taboo versus why it's practiced, or why the lack of practice of it. Because there's not a whole lot of people out there cannibalizing one another. That's reserved for quite a few select folks on this planet.
But there used to be a lot of people out there that cannibalized one another.
Yeah, sure. It used to be way more prevalent, whatever.
Yeah.
It used to be way,
culture,
it was way more common then, back more savage times.
But when you think about it, if things were on the brink, or let's just say that due to some mass population or whatever, scientifically, something happens that makes it easy to deal with, or like culturally, people just get to the point of where we just need to get rid of dead bodies.
Yeah. Like incineration's popular.
Yeah, or liquefaction.
I feel like that should get like burials are going to go out of style. You can't do burials forever.
Imagine a service where they take dead bodies and repurpose them. Let's say they
for haunted houses.
Genetically enhance the meat, get rid of all the shit that's going to fuck us up from eating it, and then
so you say it's been processed human meat. It's a human
processed and packaged for home consumption, but it doesn't say human flesh. It's just called Not the not the Impossible
It's the Homo
burger or
sapien
anything like
slaughterhouse.
that, but you could call it whatever you want. Mix in some plant material and say, it's your...
It's corpse with kale, man.
Yeah, corpse with kale.
You want corpse with kale, bro?
But you don't tell them that. Tell them it's
Gluten-free.
some other... It's beef. It's organically grown beef.
Gluten-free Gregory, baby.
It's fucking hot dogs. It's bologna. It's Spam.
I don't want human spam. Spam's already weird.
It's Vienna.
It's Vienna, goddammit. It's Vienna. Vienna sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But think about that, though.
Yeah.
Repurposed.
This is very macabre. This whole cake is macabre.
Well,
Dealing with the dead, folks. That's what we're doing. This happy late Mother's Day to all of you
Yeah.
out there, by the way.
Well, see, that's the flip of the coin. It's a beautiful birth. Mothers, it's a symbol of fertility. But, so is Ishtar, but we don't celebrate that anymore.
Right, and so is,
Well,
human spam.
The death of the other side of the coin is the dark side, the yang to the yin.
Mm-hmm. Man.
There's people out there that eats people, but nobody's eating babies.
No.
Like, is it
Oh my
such
God.
a bad idea? Is it something that even cannibals go, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't eat a child.
Maybe they're trying to wait till it's more seasoned.
I mean, they say you taste like what you
age
eat.
like wine.
Think about this.
Does it have to age like wine?
No, because it picks up flavor as it ages.
It becomes saltier. As the
Exactly, we
human
become
mind
more
becomes
pork
saltier.
because we eat more pork and beef, and we take in loads of sodium and shit like that. So we're salting ourselves every day. We're curing our bodies for preservation.
We're pickling ourselves.
Basically.
Man, no one will ever consume me, I don't
But-
think. For I am the saltiest being of them all.
But think about it. Newborns have never had anything out other than what their mother has ate while or during gestation.
Yeah, and they've yet to be exposed to the sins of the world.
Yeah, to all these
so-
polluted chemicals and everything. Therefore, their flesh would probably be sweeter.
Oh my God!
Think about it. Well, okay, so they eat calves. Is it calves that they eat, or maybe it's baby sheep or something? There's a certain there's a specific
Babies taste like lollipops.
farmed animal that we raise where the age of it, when it's older, we eat it a specific way, but when it's younger, we call it something else and serve it a specific way. Mm-hmm. I think, what is it, veal?
Yeah, I guess it would be veal. It's like,
It's calves. We're
Yeah.
eating cow babies.
Yeah, you're eating veal.
So is it cannibals that would just go, I can't do that?
It's picky cannibals. It's cannibals with preference. That's a seasoned cannibal, no pun intended. I'm sure that's exactly a seasoned cannibal. Like, no, that meat will not do. That meat is terrible. Let me tell you, the best human is best when they are above 25 and they have seen all the pains.
Or what about a
woes.
pregnant woman? Would they eat the fetus? Would that be like eating one of the eggs? Where the
It's like
chicken...
eating balut.
Yeah, where the
Fucking
bird
eating
is a
duck
fully
fetus.
formed...
Yeah.
It's basically eating a pregnant woman.
Oddly, what's funny? You bring up balut. I had actually thought about balut today, of all things.
Oh, God.
I was like, maybe I should see if I can't find a balut. We prepare it for an episode of Brain Cake.
Oh.
We try some.
I imagine it's good, but I can't imagine it if we fixed it, it would be good.
Let me prepare it.
No.
Can I? That's the catch.
Tim.
I have to prepare balut for us all.
We're just going to eat raw birds.
Yeah.
We're going to be eating raw baby chickens.
Yeah.
Or good ducks.
If
or
we've
whatever.
not clarified, folks, it is basically aborted duck fetus is what this thing is. It's a fully formed fetus that hasn't been born yet.
But is it boiled? I don't know how they prepare
No,
balut.
you got to
It's
boil
like a
it.
French thing, isn't it? It's in French restaurants.
I think it's French. I'm not.
It's a weird
entirely
cuisine. I'm
positive.
sorry, guys. I've seen it on Anthony Bourdain, a couple of his shows. I've seen it on a bunch of different travel shows. But it's one of those weird taboo foods because, of what it is.
So there you go. Most people don't want to eat duck fetus. Mostly,
Most cannibals won't eat baby fetus?
Cannibals aren't going to go after pregnant people. Say no.
Well, that would be their easiest victims, though, right? They can't run.
Well, I guess they don't want to eat the elderly.
Elders?
It's out of date.
That's true. I wonder if old people would be real leather, like like an old cow.
They're not gonna burn, or they're not gonna boil right.
Right, like it's just freezer burnt meat, basically, as an old person. Freezer burnt pork chops.
You gotta take a steak knife to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You better put that shit in a pressure cooker and let it cook till it falls apart.
I've never,
Excuse me, guys.
in my life, never thought I would talk about on a podcast about eating the elderly, eating unborn children,
Well, okay, so let's look at it this way.
But it is fascinating, though.
It is fascinating.
I will say,
in a survival situation, there have been people that has had to eat people, and it's not like been against the law or anything, because there's a movie about the people that plane wrecked on the mountain, and had to eat their dead people.
Yeah. Now there is. If you're talking survival, that opens up an entirely other avenue.
But it's cannibalism.
Of justification. Yeah, exactly. But it's an entirely new reason or way of justification of this same exact taboo. Is it okay then in a life or death situation?
Let's say there's
if you
three
can
of
rationalize, me, you, and Kiwi crash on an island, man.
One of us has a broke leg, and the other two were all starving to death.
Yeah, no help's coming.
The one with the broke leg just goes, guys, you can eat me if you find me dead, and then wanders off and kills itself. Does that make it okay?
I mean, like at that point, I'm like, well, fuck, man. Maybe help will come one day, but I can't bring him back to life. I'm not a fucking magician, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he killed himself or not, Kiwi, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna eat you. If you're laying there and you say, man, help yourselves, like dig in, if you think you die, I can't help it. I'm gonna be like, all right, man, start a fucking fire, Jared. Me and we're gonna cook him.
Cut us off a ham.
Some fried kiwi.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so...
But even if he didn't justify, if he didn't give us permission, and he still has the broke leg, like, that's murder. That's different, I guess. Then you're contemplating.
it would depend on how long
Yeah.
and where you were stranded.
You saying,
Wouldn't it? Because you're looking for the justification of murdering someone with a maimed leg that's going to die of infection or some shit if it's not fixed.
what if Gunboy's trying to defend Kiwi? And then, like, do you pick on Kiwi because he's got a broken leg and he can't fight back? Or do you pick on Gunboy because now he's becoming defiant and he's becoming a problem? Do you just tear him down and start eating him then? Or do you just, deflect situation and everybody just get on their knees and just pray to the sky genie above and hope that rescue will come and none of them starve to death?
In a situation where you're prepared to eat someone, I would imagine that your rationalization goes out the window. And you would probably just kill them out of sheer will to want something to eat.
Yeah, the sheer, just survival instinct.
Yes, that is when your pure animalistic nature would take over and you would go back, 35,000 BC or some shit.
Those barbaric,
and rip them apart.
Those barbaric urges we all suppress.
Like a chimpanzee does to its dead rival and fucking rips them limb from limb and then eats them.
And then flings his shit at the family members that watch on.
I feel like they eat them.
I'm sure they do. I'm pretty sure chimpanzees have been documented to cannibalize.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense in survival situations because human bodies have 32,000 calories.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could survive quite a while in a body. Cannibals aren't wrong about that.
No, like I said, Armin Meiwes and all those guys, Dahmer, they all lived off their meat for a while.
Imagine Boyardee sitting back in his chair one day and going, what's a quick way to get rid of dead bodies?
Ravioli.
Ravioli.
Beef ravioli. Jumbo stuffed ravioli.
Yes. In a can.
In a can. Mega stuffed can. Mega stuffed with jumbo stuffed. And Chef Boyardee is not a documented cannibal.
No.
There's no evidence of him cannibalizing another human being.
And I'm not accusing. I'm just saying, imagine that someday. It may not be, his name may not be Boyardee.
Yeah. He's not a cannibal, damn it. I stand by it.
Right. I mean, his ravioli is pretty bomb ass. Whether it's human or not.
Yeah.
I'm not even actually sure that it's meat. It's probably soy more than it's meat, but the fucking raviolis are bomb.
As long as I can keep buying it for fucking 88 cents a can, god damn it, Chef Boyardee, keep feeding me corpses.